Taking a look now at the economy and that big drop on Wall Street. The Dow plummeting yesterday almost 110 points after Fed Chief Ben Bernanke told Congress the outlook for the economy was, quote, unusually certain. Joining us now, CBS News business and economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis, who joins us from the New York Stock Exchange. So what was it specifically, not just that comment, there was more to it, I know, about Mr. Bernanke's comments that did send the markets tumbling?
Well, Erica, first off, the market never likes to hear that an official in the government is uncertain about our recovery. But on top of that, it was a question of jobs. And he said that it's somewhat slower right now as far as the jobs picture goes than the Fed ever expected, that our recovery of all those 8.5 million jobs lost during the recession is slower than we anticipated. And that's not a good sign.
And in terms of the recovery, the housing market we've also seen is stalling, which I know he touched on as well.
He talked about housing being in a moderate recovery, and the issue right now facing lawmakers is a question of what to do to get the housing market back on track to start improving a little bit. Right now, what we've seen is this stimulus dollars, that $8,000 tax credit. Now that it's worn off, people aren't buying homes anymore.
Of course, so interest rates are at a record low level, and Bernanke mentioned yesterday that one of the things that could be done would be to keep these interest rates low, yet it's still increasingly difficult for people to get mortgages. Is that going to be tackled?
Well, they're hoping that that's something that will eventually be tackled, and the Federal Reserve as well as the government has a couple of things in their arsenal that they can do to make that easier. But as of now, banks aren't assuming the risk of sending out money to people like you and me or small businesses because it is too risky still in their view. Meantime, we are trying to put our money in banks and save, and we can't get much for our money in banks as savers because interest rates are so low. And if you've looked at your savings account recently, you're seeing at the very most that you can get about 1% in your money by keeping it in the bank.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have seen those numbers. Rebecca Jarvis at the NYSE Force this morning. Becky, thanks.
Thanks.